Well, it looks like Marvel Studios has a really big event planned for Avengers Secret Wars, just like the big event that they had for Avengers Doomsday, that infamous chair event, which I actually thought was a really good success for Marvel Studios. I mean, say what you want about it, but everyone was talking about it. And speaking of that Avengers Doomsday chair event slash cast announcement, we have an updated list of who the entire cast is supposed to be for Avengers Doomsday that we're going to go over today. What is going on, Cosmic Crew? Thanks for stopping by the channel today. We have a couple of reports from some insiders here. The main one coming from My Time to Shine Hello, who just stated yesterday that Marvel is planning a special event to reveal the cast of Avengers Secret Wars. Now, this is a pretty controversial report because unless they plan on doing this event next year after Avengers Doomsday, it's gonna be kind of spoilery because we know, at least we're all pretty much 99.9% sure, that at the end of Doomsday, Doom wins. The multiverse gets destroyed, Battleworld is created, and he rules over it. We have that leaked concept art of Doom sitting on the throne. Doctor Strange to his side, Sue Storm and Franklin Richards to the other side, and it even looks like Yelena Belova has brought somebody before him to be judged. So everything really points to the comic Secret Wars of Doom becoming God Emperor Doom and ruling Battleworld. So some people aren't going to make it. We're assuming there are going to be quite a bit of deaths in Avengers Doomsday. So doing a event video or just event in general to reveal the cast of Secret Wars could be pretty spoilery, just like how they revealed the Thunderbolts were all in Avengers Doomsday. It's a little spoilery for the Thunderbolts because we knew, well, none of them are going to die. So we'll have to see what this is. I do think no matter what, they do some type of event for Avengers Secret Wars because the event for Doomsday worked. In fact, I think Marvel has a lot of events planned. I really do. Now, according to the insider Majestic, take this with a grain of salt. Majestic is pretty much an untested insider right now, just because we haven't had Doomsday yet. Some things they have said have come true just from some things coming out from Marvel Studios already, but a lot of these insiders are saying things about Doomsday, and we can't know if they're true until Doomsday comes, of course. They stated, write down the date, March 26th. So we're going to eye this date, March 26th, and that could be 2027. They didn't specifically say March 26, 2025, because if it comes that early for Secret Wars, well, I mean, that is really early. Really early. I mean, March 26 is still months and months and almost still basically a full year away from Avengers Doomsday, which comes out in December. So this report seems to be pretty controversial right now. My Time to Shine Hello has gotten a lot of things right in the past. So some type of big thing is going to happen for Secret Wars, which I don't doubt. Will it happen before or after Doomsday? We'll have to wait and see on that, but I just think it makes sense to happen after. So let me know your thoughts about this in the comments down below. Now, moving on, My Time to Shine Hello has also reported everyone who is going to be in the cast for Avengers Doomsday, at least everybody that was on the scene, that was at the studio filming pre-reshoots. So we know they're about to do some reshoots. They're doing some right now, actually. Some will be added. For example, she stated in a different tweet, Monica and Carol are not in Doomsday currently, but hopefully will be added in reshoots. So this basically means she has heard that Monica and Carol, or Teyonah Parris and Brie Larson, have not been on set yet. That's basically what she's saying here. She has not heard from any source that they have shot any scenes. But with the reshoots, hopefully they will, which I think it's kind of a no-brainer. They got to get them in there because of the post-credit scene for the Marvels. And Monica Rambeau is in the other universe right now where the X-Men are. So I think they definitely are going to be in this. But here is what My Time to Shine Hello has stated for the updated Avengers Doomsday cast pre-reshoots. Robert Downey Jr., Dr. Doom, surprise, surprise. Some of these, of course, we're going to know, but let's go through. Chris Evans, Steve Rogers. I do wonder if they do another event for Avengers Doomsday, kind of going over some of the key players returning, like Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. You have to imagine once we get the trailer, the first full official trailer for Avengers Doomsday, We'll see some promo shoots with Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Hemsworth back together again. Same thing with like Sebastian Stan and Anthony Mackie, the Winter Soldier and Captain back together again. The old Captain America with the new Captain America. They're going to do a lot of events for this. A lot's going to happen. But Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth as Thor, of course, got his own trailer as well. Anthony Mackie is back, of course. Sebastian Stan is Bucky Barnes. Paul Rudd is Ant-Man. Letitia Wright is Shuri. Simu Liu is Shang-Chi. Basically, all of the Thunderbolts, John Walker, Yelena, Bob/Century, and then Joaquin Torres, of course, as Falcon. Alexei Shostakov, the Red Guardian. Hannah John Kamen, Ghost. Winston Duke, who is King M'Baku now, that we saw from that last trailer. We also saw in that trailer Namor. Sue Storm, of course, all of the Fantastic Four, Human Torch, The Thing, Mr. Fantastic, Professor X, Magneto, we have seen them now. Beast, Nightcrawler, Mystique, Cyclops, of course, we've seen that now. We've seen that now. Gambit, Loki, Miss Marvel. Here's where we get into some new ones here. Miss Marvel. And not only does she list Miss Marvel, but she lists Kate Bishop's Hawkeye and Cassie Lang. So these are essentially the core of the Young Avengers. Now, the other, I would say, two people I'm expecting to be a part of the Young Avengers are Wiccan and Speed, especially because Vision Quest is kind of bringing Wanda's family back to life I say this with the exception of Wanda. Wanda's fate is unknown in the MCU right now. She's supposed to come back. We just don't know if that's going to be in Doomsday or Secret Wars. Haven't heard too much about it. We've heard some rumors like she could be dead, but Doctor Doom resurrects her using Franklin Richards, but nothing confirmed at this point in time. However, Billy is back. Wiccan is back. And Tommy/Speed came back at the end of Agatha All Along. And Vision Quest, it's already been confirmed, Tommy/Speed is in Vision Quest. Also, Vision Quest brings back Vision. So Wanda's entire family, which is like her sole purpose from WandaVision, basically since after Endgame to now in the MCU, that's been her sole purpose, her family. And they're finally back. So Wanda's coming back, but the Young Avengers are reportedly going to be in Avengers Doomsday, which does make sense because, again, we saw the Secret Wars concept art leaks, and the Young Avengers were there. They were there with Wong and Star-Lord, which I thought was pretty interesting, and I actually really want to see that happen in Secret Wars. So the three of them, at least, are going to be in Doomsday. Moving on, this next one's interesting as well. We've heard reports about this. Pepper Potts. She could don some Iron Man armor again. Maybe she fights, or maybe she's just still there in charge of Stark Industries. Who knows? But I do think she should be in the movie. Especially with Robert Downey Jr. returning, they could do some very interesting things as far as him looking like Tony, of course, right? Doom, whether he portrays himself as a variant or not, he looks like Tony Stark. That would be really emotional for Pepper Potts and Morgan Stark. So we'll have to see that as well. Peggy Carter / Doom's Witch. Now, we had heard before that Haley Atwell was returning. Actually, when we heard Chris Evans was returning, they mentioned Haley Atwell was returning as well as Peggy. Now we have the trailer, and Steve has a baby. And although they didn't show Peggy, we all know who he had a baby with, unless they're going to just give us a really big plot twist on this. I do believe, though, it's Peggy and his child, of course, and the plot twist is going to be there's going to be a variant of her, which we heard she's playing more than one character, and that could be one of Doom's witches. Maybe his right-hand man is actually Peggy, a variant of Peggy, which would be very interesting, and it would create kind of a very interesting conflict with Steve Rogers, I'm sure. So we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine, they haven't been confirmed by Marvel yet, but I mean, Gambit's there, the rest of the X-Men are there. And based on everything they set up in Deadpool and Wolverine, it just makes total sense that they would be there and that they're going to be a part of Loki's multiversal team. So no big surprise there. Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. We've heard so much about Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. He's supposed to be in the opening scene of the movie. His universe is reportedly going to get destroyed, and he gets picked up by the TVA. They save his life. And I'm just sitting there like, man, does MJ die in his universe? Does it get restored somehow at the end of Secret Wars? Like, what is the game plan? Because that's going to be pretty emotional to watch, I think. Especially, I think he has MJ in his universe. It sounds like it based on what he said in No Way Home. And maybe they have a daughter. Maybe they have Mayday. Who knows? So we'll have to wait and see. This is, she worded this one interestingly. Benedict Cumberbatch, Doom's wizard psychic. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch has confirmed he is going to be in the movie. He did one interview saying that he wasn't in the movie, and then in the next interview, because the internet freaked out, he clarified and said he was confused, which I totally don't think he was confused with. He said he is in the movie, and I fully believe, just because him and Clea, everything that happened at the end of Multiverse of Madness, the post-credit scene, him and Clea are going to have a pretty strong role, but he's listed as Doom's wizard sidekick. Now, we've heard reports about this, and it seems to be just like time runs out and Secret Wars in the comics. Doctor Strange is good, of course, but based on everything we also heard about what Doctor Strange 3 was supposed to be like, he finds out that himself and his variants have been causing incursions. So when Doctor Doom comes by and wants to try and fix them, I think Doom would be a part of that. Like, he'd be about that. And then when they finally realize, hey, we actually can't save it, but I'm going to do what I can to kind of create the ultimate universe where everybody can be happy and live, I think Doctor Strange says, okay, let's do that. It's better than nothing, which is how it goes in the comics. So Doom's wizard sidekick makes sense because in Secret Wars, he is his right-hand man. Strange is Doom's right-hand man, Sheriff Strange. He literally just... that's his guy. And he ultimately does betray him to save some of the Avengers and the heroes that were on the life raft. And Doom kills him. But that's where things kind of go crazy. That's where some people start to question Doctor Doom, because Doctor Strange dies and they're like, it kind of seems like Doom killed him. Might want to look into this Doom, this God Emperor Doom guy. So we'll wait and see on that, but this makes sense. And then the next one is Owen Wilson, Mobius. I feel like that's obvious as well, with Loki being a key role, obviously. And did he? Yeah, Tom Hiddleston Loki was mentioned. So I feel like Owen Wilson as Mobius would be great. Plus, people love Mobius. I really got to get a shot of him on a jet ski. We haven't got that yet. I need that. But we'll wait and see. India Hemsworth, who is Chris Hemsworth's actual daughter, who plays Love. Now, we've already seen her in the trailer, so we know she returns. That one's an easy one. Atuma, we've actually seen her, and Namora. Or wait, maybe we saw Namora, but it makes sense that Namora and Atuma return. We've seen how big Talokan is going to be, like how big of a role they're going to play in Doomsday with the Wakandans. It seems like they're even sharing vibranium with each other, so that just makes sense. And then the last one she mentions is Franklin Richards. And what's interesting is Bruce Banner's not mentioned, Tom Holland's not mentioned, Scarlet Witch isn't mentioned, Elizabeth Olsen. It's man, it's interesting. But again, I think she is basically saying these are all the actors who have shot scenes already for Avengers Doomsday. So pre-shoots, she specifically stated, and she specifically stated during reshoots, more actors can come in and shoot more new scenes. So people could appear, like, I'm not crossing Elizabeth Olsen, Scarlet Witch off yet. I'm not crossing off Tom Holland, Spider-Man, the Hulk, but it does kind of seem like there are going to be a handful of main characters who aren't going to be in Doomsday, but it sounds like those who aren't in Doomsday are going to return in Avengers Secret Wars and play a pretty big role. And that might actually be what Marvel decides to do if they do a big event, maybe, and like Tom Holland isn't in it, Mark Ruffalo isn't in it, Tatiana Maslany isn't in it, She-Hulk, maybe they announce them for Secret Wars. That wouldn't be spoilery, because we don't know what their fate is, because we wouldn't have seen them. They wouldn't be in Avengers Doomsday. So it's not exactly telling us who died or who didn't die, but it's saying, hey, these people aren't going to be in Doomsday, but we're throwing you a little bone here. They're going to be in Secret Wars. So what do you think of the full cast so far? Of course, there's going to be cameos. Expect that, of course, as the multiverse collapses and as we go to different universes and such. Like, there's been a rumor that we might see Doc Ock in Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man universe. So let me know what you think about this so far. What do you think Marvel's big event is going to be? If it is revealing the Secret Wars cast, again, I think that has to be after Doomsday, but go ahead and let me know what you think about that in the comments down below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest Avengers Doomsday, Avengers Secret Wars, Spider-Man Brand New Day, and Marvel news in general. You can also find us on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Snapchat. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.